Terry Jones, what do you think of that, looking back now?
Well, they were better, weren't they? I mean, I think we ought to stop, actually. I think that's much funnier than anything we've done recently. What do you think?
Yeah, but people didn't laugh at it.
They didn't know to laugh.
That was years ago, and they didn't know
That's
to laugh
That's before we paid the audience, wasn't it?
That's before we started paying.
No, seriously, you were
the
saying,
audience,
in fact...
all the dubbed-on laughter that we put on, of course, in these things. I mean, that's an innovation for this country. In America, they had dubbed-on laughter for years. Here, it's a recent innovation.
But how, in fact, do you work together? What's the method? I mean, do you all go off in different directions with cup ideas, or what?
I don't know, do you?
Well, actually, I was just going to, say what we did.
Yes, well,
off you go.
Well, it's all written by Barry Took, actually, and he sends the scripts in to us, and we initial them and pass them around.
Well, that's obviously not true. So, can we start with that?
Cool on Barry Took as well.
What?
I mean...
Well, basically, well, what happens is basically Mike and I write together, and Graham
writes together
with John. Eric usually writes on his own. Terry doesn't really write anything.
No, he doesn't.
Can he write?
He can drink.
No, Terry only can draw things. He sends us drawings.
Terry, isn't he?
And basically, the only way you can basically write something is just sitting down at a desk and trying to think of an idea.
Or in an armchair. I've done it in an armchair.
You done it
several times. Several times.
And who throws out what and when? I mean,
well, then we all sort of get together around the table and sort of throw ideas out or in. It's very difficult to write in committee. Above two seems to be an optimum for writing creatively.
Well, I mean, the idea, as I gather, is that you're going to have another series, say, you start making it about midsummer. Yeah. How do you build up towards that? You start around about now to
We'll start writing next week, I suppose. Well, I will, but I don't know whether everyone else will. I suppose. You won't.
No.
Having a little hol iron.
Hol iron, yes. Yeah. We'll just write dribs and drabs and sort of, then we gradually amass about a couple of minutes of material.
Enormous quantities of material, which will be carved down to nothing. And then we'll start writing it again.
Do you miss John Cleese? I mean, there's been a lot of talk about that, hasn't there?
Well, he's very tall.
Yes.
So you're bound to miss him.
Yes.
It's just a sort of physical presence. It's bound to...
but the wiseacres say that he imposed a discipline, an economy, etc., on the team that perhaps no longer exists. Any fairness in that?
No, I'm sure he imposed discipline, but I'm against discipline generally. I think the rest of us are. Probably that's an error. Maybe we do miss him a lot.
I think John tends to be aggressive. Whereas, say, Mike and I tend to be sort of more friendly, and if we were writing everything, it would all be sort of very rosy and nice, and we're all much nicer people, really. And I think that maybe is a very good element to have that. The aggression of John's.
I think that's the whole thing about the show, anyway. Is it's this mixture of basically three and a half different styles. Really, and when it's working well, it's that mixture.
The tendency now, though, to be self-indulgent, perhaps lacking the lash.
We've always been accused of that.
We've always had
from the beginning, we've been self-indulgent. So it may be true, but it's no different now.
I defend us against being self-indulgent. Yeah. We're pretty self-critical, actually. I mean,
taste is awful, maybe.
Well, you've forced your way into the conversation. So, Terry, your animations have always been one of the most distinctive elements in the mixture, distinctive and macabre, with sort of crushing feet and decapitations and exploding spleens. Let's take a look at a couple of examples.